Behind me is an original World War II era V2 engine. The technology that went into that engine was leading edge for the time, but we need to rewind about 30 years to get an understanding of how that technology was developed. Back in the early 1900s, there was a young scientist, Dr. Robert Goddard, who was developing new principles and theories related to launch vehicles, boosters, and rocketry. It was young Dr. Goddard who began to develop many of the principles and methods that led to today's space race or space age as we know it. As early as 1909, Robert Goddard began developing methods for liquid-fueled rocketry. And by 1914, Goddard had two patents, one on multi-stage rocketry and the other on liquid-fueled rocketry. Fast forward 30 years, and in the 1930s, German rocket scientists, led by Hermann Oberth and his protege, Wernher von Braun, utilized Goddard's studies readily. In fact, they even contacted and communicated regularly with Goddard. By the 1940s, von Braun and his team of scientists began to work on a rocket that would ultimately lead to the space race or the space age, but was used as a weapon of mass destruction. The V2 engine that you see behind me was leading edge, and in fact, many of the principles utilized in that engine today were utilized in the mighty Saturn V and are used by space companies today. The V2 engine was one of the first rockets to use liquid fuel, alcohol and liquid oxygen. Rockets at that time were force-fed. The V2 was turbopump or pump-fed. You can see the turbopump there at the forefront of this image. Because of the pressure and the amount of liquid that needed to be processed or pushed through the engine at a rapid pace, it needed a pump system to be able to adequately do that. Thus, the turbopump came into play. It pumped the alcohol and the liquid oxygen through the engine. And this is where the genius of the engine comes into play. Because of the rate of speed and the heat that it burnt at, if the combustion chamber, the thrust chamber, which you see right here, wasn't cooled, the heat would burn through the chamber. And so that turbopump would pump the alcohol around the chamber, cooling the chamber. Then that alcohol would come up and the turbopump would then pump both the alcohol and the oxidizer into the thrust chamber. And instead of forcing the fuel into it, it pumped it through injectors. At the top of the thrust chamber are many injectors. And if you were to be able to look up inside the V2, you would see these injectors, tiny holes in each one of these injectors. And that turbopump would pressurize and push that fuel into the turbopump or into the thrust chamber, where then the thrust would ignite at such a thrust, such a level that the V2 would lift off going supersonic before it impacted as a weapon of mass destruction. Again, leading edge for its time, forerunner to modern rocketry of the era.